Before jumping into classes, I want to talk to you about scope. Scope is how variables are viewed. Let's give an example. I'll put an integer out here called global var, and I'll set 3. Here I'll see out global var and now. What do you think is going to happen? Well, obviously it's going to print 3. You see? Now if I were to make a second global var, it doesn't give me any errors. I'm reinitializing it, but it doesn't give me any errors. Why? And also, it didn't take this one anymore, it took that one. Why? Well, because C++ favors local variables more than global variables. You see, the easy way is if you're using Microsoft Visual Studio, like I am, you can click on it to see where the instances are. So this is being called here, but this is being called nowhere. If I were to make a second variable, a second function called game, and I would see out global var, what do you think is going to print? Well, first off, game. What do you think is going to print? Will it print 3 or 2? It prints 3. But it doesn't call this. It calls this. What the flip is going on? Well, so you see, when it gets to here, it doesn't know this exists. Why? Because this exists in main. It doesn't exist outside. It cannot be called from outside. In fact, it cannot be even read outside. You can't even, this function cannot see it because it's inside main, and this game is not inside main, so it cannot see it. So instead, it takes this because it can see it. Anything outside here is global and everything can see it. Anything inside a function is local and only that can see it. So if I were to I can even change this type. Global var equals false. It printed out 0 because 0 is false. Now here, this is strange because it took this one but not this one, because the functions and main favors the variables inside of them. So if there are 2 variables with the same name, then you will immediately decide to print this out instead, because of local reasons. That being said, if I create a second variable in here, I'd still get an error. But now, if I change this to local, and then attempt to call local variable outside of main, it gives me an error. But if it's initialized here, that's because only main has it. So because it cannot read it. So this is very complicated. Now, of course, you might think, well, let me just shove everything up here then, and I'll be safe. Well, if you want, but in some cases, you don't want to shove everything up in the top. Instead, actually, in some cases, you want local variables, to prevent spaghetti code, you know, and in case you have a variable that needs to keep changing, but you don't want one, like if you have a variable and you don't want to have to keep changing it, like keep changing it back and then going, you can just make a local variable and then your problems are solved. Boom. Okay, so you got it? Yeah. It's a little complicated at first, but if you rewatch the video, you should get it. Anyway, if you like this, press the like button, subscribe to me if you want to see more coding videos, or if you're more into gaming videos, I have those too, and I'll see you all in the next video.